Hey, it's Shahara. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm going to do another one of my theories. It's, why was Caroline afraid to love Klaus? From the Vampire Diaries. We all know that they have a connection, and I ship it. I ship Caroline and Stefan a little bit more, but I do still ship Caroline with Klaus. I like her with both. I just prefer her with Stefan a teensy bit more. Maybe a little bit more than a teensy bit, but anyways. I think the majority of fans prefer her with Klaus, but I don't know, I love her with Stefan. I love both tropes, you know, enemies to lovers and best friends to lovers. I love them both, so it's like, it's perfect. But it took her longer to admit how she felt about Klaus than it took Klaus to admit how he felt about her, which is weird. You think it'd be the other way around, since Klaus has more issues, you know, with his feelings and love and stuff, until he met Caroline. But I think I know why Caroline had a lot of issues admitting that she might actually care for Klaus, especially to her friends, and I'm going to break that down in this video. So, I already made a video about Caroline and Damon, so which a little bit that I put in here is also gonna have to do with that video, like a few of the points or whatever. So this one is, so let's get started. Ready? So we know that Klaus fell in love with Caroline. He was mean and appeared cold-hearted, didn't care for much until he met her. She was everything he wasn't: kind, loyal, honest, trustworthy. Until the one of their first encounters. It wasn't their first encounter. I don't really remember what episode it was, but I think it was the episode that Klaus turned Tyler into a hybrid, because I remember them in, I think, the school, and they were like around a table, and Tyler was there, and Caroline was next to him, and she yelled at Klaus for hurting Tyler. But then their next encounter was for Caroline's birthday, when Tyler bit him because of Klaus's orders. Bit her and because of Klaus's orders, and so and he was like, I can save you, but what did he say? He was like, there's so much out there in the world that you should see, music, culture, and he was like, if you want me to, I can save your life. And she was like, I don't want to die. So he let her buy into him, because the only way to cure a werewolf fight is from an original's blood. Or was it just Klaus's blood? I think it was just Klaus's blood, because he's like the original hybrid, so I think it had to be just his blood. But and then he kind of held on to her as she sucked his blood, which was the cure. Then there was the time when they went to that dance together, and Caroline called him out on everything, pretty much. And then he sent her a picture he drew of her standing next to a horse, and said, thank you for your honesty, which was also sweet. Oh, I forgot to mention that about him giving her the bracelet after he saved her on her birthday. Then when he saved her again, because again it was his fault, he bit her, and then Tyler knew that Klaus loved her, so he put Caroline in the same room. It's like, if she's gonna die, you're gonna watch, because he knew that because even though he hated Klaus, he did know that Klaus cared about Caroline, and that he wouldn't be able to watch her die. And then so they spoke for a little bit, and then she told him that she believes there's good in him, and he was like, how can you believe that after all I have done? And she mentioned about him loving her, which means there had to be good in him, you know, because if he can love someone, then there had to be some good in him. When Silas tricked her into thinking it was Klaus, he was looking for something. I don't remember what now. But he can be anyone he wanted to be. To get to Caroline, he purposely shapeshifted into Klaus. Why? Because he could sense that Caroline's feelings for Klaus. So that's why he went to Klaus, because he knew that she would talk to him and maybe even open up to him. When Klaus comes out of hiding, he was inside Tyler's body, and Caroline thought Tyler had died. Long story. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. But then he came out of hiding when Caroline got kidnapped, and because everyone found out she was a vampire, and he crashed the car and then saves her, leaves his own sister Rebecca, but he had to save Caroline, which was really sweet. She didn't know it was Klaus at first. She thought it was Tyler, but that's a whole other story. When Silas got into Klaus's head, remember that? When Silas made Klaus think he was going insane? Well, not really going insane, but thinking there was pain that there wasn't. Caroline helped him, which she didn't have to. She yelled at him and made him forget about the pain, causing it to go away. And then he thanked her, which was really cute. He stopped her and he was like, "Thank you for helping me." And she was like, "Yeah, of course." And the way she looked at him, you could tell there was something in it, not just for him, but for her. There was something. Caroline went to Klaus for a beautiful prom dress when Elena stole hers. I mean, if she really didn't like him at all, would she really ask him for something? But that was really cute too, because he was laughing. She's like, "Stop laughing, it's not funny." He was like, "Yeah, I know," and then he starts laughing again. It was just really sweet, but he did end up helping her get a dress. I did prefer the one she originally was going to wear, and I think it looked better on Caroline than Elena, but yeah. Caroline had feelings for Klaus too, like the time they were at the function and Caroline owed him a date, and she dreaded it, but then he made her laugh and they joked around. He opened up to her, which he had never done to anyone in his life, and he's been around for a long time. So proof right there. Just throw that out there. But yeah, I love that, because they were laughing and joking, and he found her Miss Mystic application, and they started laughing, and he opened up to her about the only time he ever wished to be human, and it was just so sweet. And Caroline invited him to her graduation, and he went and saved her life. I mean, why would she invite him to her graduation if she did not care about him? But she was trying to get a hold of him, and to save Damon, and then witches were trying to kill Caroline, and Klaus saves her. And then when they talk later on, he's like, I lost my train of thought. She asked how he got here so fast. He was like, "I was already on my way," because of her invitation to graduation. And they had a nice talk, and then he freed Tyler, saying Tyler can go back to Mystic Falls. And then he said, "Tyler was your first love, but I intend to be your last, however long it takes," which was also really sweet. And then he kisses her cheeks and walked away, and yay. And he freed Tyler. Like, you don't think Klaus would do something like that, but he did, because he loves Caroline. He knows how much it would mean to her. And, I mean, she's mad at him for making Tyler leave, so why would she invite him to graduation if she didn't feel something? Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. They even make out and ended up having sex in the woods. I love that scene. Because she was finally giving in to her feelings for him and couldn't deny them anymore. He promised her that he would walk away and never leave if she told him how she truly felt. And he said, she was like, you don't get it because yes, I hate myself for the truth. So if you promise to walk away and never come back, then I will tell you about how I really feel. He's like, I promise. And then she ends up kissing him. And then later on, she admits that she never meant for it to get that far. She just kissed him, and then it felt so good. And then next thing she knew, so yeah. They have a nice talk on the phone when Klaus helps Stefan because Caroline was worried about him, which is funny because when Klaus finds out who Stefan was running from, he was like, how dare you bring this to my town, get out, I'm not gonna help you, you have to leave. And then once Stefan left his phone, and then Klaus picks it up when Caroline calls, and they have a nice talk, and then Caroline says how worried she is about Stefan. So after their little talk, I also love when Klaus was like, it's okay to love someone you're not supposed to, or something like that, which was talking about the babies. So Klaus ends up chasing Stefan down after the talk and is like, yeah, I'll help you. Like, literally, like, just because Caroline wants him to, she, like, oh my gosh, that's not love, I don't know what is. Caroline even goes to see Klaus in New Orleans. He wasn't there. He had been missing for 3 years at that point because that was a 3-year time jump. But she did go to see him with her twins, and looked all sad when she was told that he's disappeared, that he was missing. So years later in the originals, Caroline and Klaus reunite. I haven't actually watched the originals, but I did see clips of the two of them reunite because I had to. I do want to see the originals eventually, but especially to get to that because I want to see it. But Caroline's like, you were never the villain of my story, which was really sweet. And Klaus's face when she said that. They talk, open up, smile, laugh, and so much more, and it's just so sweet to see their interactions when they're both adults and Caroline has fully accepted how she once felt for Klaus, and even and how she still feels, maybe, and she's the only person that can get through to him and make him realize how stupid he's being about, you know, everything that's going on with his daughter or whatever. But yeah, which is true. I mean, even back then, even now, she can snap him out of himself, I guess. I don't know. I think that Caroline was afraid to admit that she had feelings for Klaus because her friends hated him. They got angry when she slept with him, so to know that there was more than that would be even worse. She was afraid to love him, but she did, and she couldn't change it. Which is true because, I mean, everyone is like okay with what Damon did to Caroline, but can't forgive Klaus for what he did to Elena, and Caroline's the bad guy for having feelings for him when Elena has feelings for Damon, which is all mentioned in my other video. I think it's called something about Damon and Caroline. It was like, I think it was like, why did everyone forget what Damon did to Caroline, something like that. So it's in my video somewhere. She pushed her feelings down for them, which makes them not good friends. Elena would never do that for her about Damon, proving Caroline's a better friend and a better person in general. I might be a little biased because I'm not a fan of Elena and I can't stand Damon, but it's all true too, because it is. Because, I mean, it's messed up. Caroline felt bad for liking Klaus, so she pushed down his feelings, but Elena couldn't do that for Caroline when she had feelings for Damon after all he did to her, and I have a lot of issues here. But yeah, that is my theory, and I think I have some pretty good points. So, please like and subscribe and follow me on my social media. Which I mentioned in my previous video. So, yeah. I will, please comment your feelings on this video if you agree or not, and I will see you later.